Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film my TBR check-in and book haul video for the month of January. So it was the first month of 2024. Let's just remind ourselves where we started the year with, and that was with a TBR balance of 111 books. 111, that should be an easy number to remember. Let's talk about how the month went. So here is my TBR balance sheet page. And I read a total of 12 books for the month of January. 7 of those were read off my physical TBR shelf. 5 new books came into my home, or new to me books came into my home. I did not unhaul any, so that left me with a -2 for the month. So that's 109 books total on the physical TBR as of the end of January. So moving in the right direction again after the whole Christmas book haul debacle. So that's good. And I am happy to report that I did complete one of the books that I brought in, one of the new to me books that I brought in January already. And that was included in the 7 books off my shelf that I read last month. And that one was Warren G. Harding by John W. Dean. This is a book for my presidential challenge where I'm reading a biography of each president in chronological order. I am on, obviously, Warren G. Harding. This book is slim. These presidential series, presidential biographies are great if you just want a short, to the point, concise biography of the presidents. I find them to be very good for that purpose, and this one was no exception. This is a used copy that I picked up from thrift books. So because I just could not pay new hardback prices for this slim little nonfiction. So that was the first thing that I brought in. And then the other one related to that, which I have not yet read, but related to Warren Harding, I picked up The Teapot Dome Scandal: How Big Oil Bought the Harding White House and Tried to Steal the Country by McCartney. And this is another nonfiction about Warren G. Harding's presidency. So I will be reading this one soon so that I can cross Warren G. Harding off the list and move on to the next president in my challenge. So those 2 came in. The next 2 books also are used books I got from Paperback Swap. And these 2 are in a series that I am currently reading, and I actually am currently reading this particular volume. This is Deception on His Mind by Elizabeth George. This is a book in the Detective Lindley mystery series that I'm currently buddy reading with Britta. This was, I think, number 9 in the series, and it was the next book that we had to read. And so this one I'm actually currently reading, but I got this used, as I said, on Paperback Swap. And along with it, I also got In Pursuit of the Proper Sinner by Elizabeth George, which is the next one, so number 10 in that same mystery series. So those 2, all 4 of those were used books, and 1.5 of them I've already read, so that's good. The only new book that I purchased in the month of January was this one, the new Stephen King book, Holly. I collect Stephen King books in hardcover, so this one was always going to arrive in my home at some point. I have not yet read it, and this is the character of Holly Gibney is a recurring character. She was first introduced in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, and then she reappeared in the book The Outsider, and there was one of the short stories in his latest short story collection, If It Bleeds, I think is the name of that one. She was also in that. So he's having a lot of fun writing about this particular character. And I know that there is controversy about Holly and whether or not, some people really don't like her and some people do. I really like her. I find her quite quirky, and I enjoy her stories. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this one at some point. As we all know, Heidi's rule is I cannot read whatever new Stephen King book I have on my TBR shelf until the next Stephen King book is published, and I think his next book will be published sometime this spring, so I can't read Holly until that one comes out. So this one's going to be on the shelf for a couple months at least. So that's what came into my home in January. Another book that was part of the 7 that I read off my shelf was one off my, this is my current ancient TBR, which are all the books that I brought in to my home in 2019. There were 11 of them to start. I did read one off that shelf, and that was To the Bright Edge of the World by A.O. Ivy. I've reviewed this on previous videos. I think in my mid-month book bash vlog, I talked about this book. Historical fiction, had been on my shelf since 2019. Read it and knocked that one down by one. So there are only 10 books left on this little pile of books. So hopefully I will be reading one of those in February, although February is a short month, so you know, who's to say? It is, today is the 7th, and I have yet to bring any books into my home. So, you know, a week has passed and I've made it without any books coming in. So let's see how the rest of the month goes. I will come back to you in the month of March and talk about how that goes. Hope everybody is doing well, finding some great books to read, and I will talk to you later.